Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading for the period of Sunday, July 26th through Saturday to come, August 1st. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, subscribing. If you're not yet a subscriber, please consider becoming one by the end of the video or whenever you have to go, leave, by hitting both the subscribe button and the bell button. Do share also for those of you who don't mind doing that. So we are going to get right into it, and beginning with the dice and 29. Yes. And sex. 29, of course, means spiritual partnership. It could be tied to the sex. Spirit still says 29. Again, spiritual partnership. Something going on there. Yes. So maybe a connection, entering a commitment, perhaps even getting engaged or married, and stay in bed. Maybe honeymoon phase also. Honeymoon phase or actual honeymoon. So I'm going to get right into the cards now, but I went into that thing about the liking and sharing and stuff like that because things are weirder than ever with my channel. So I just recently did a Cancer new moon reading for the second Cancer new moon that just occurred last week on the 20th, I believe it was. And whenever it occurred, I did a new video. I posted it on Facebook, right? So on Facebook, the post on my Twin Flame Journey page got over 3,000 likes. But the video itself has been up for 2 days, or had been up for 2 days as of yesterday, and had been stuck at 1,700 views since like the first day. So the suggestion is that over 3,000 people liked it, but most of them didn't click on the video, the actual link to look at the video, not even for a second. That's weird. That doesn't make sense. So I just think that something, again, weird and funky is going on with YouTube. A lot of times I don't get my comments. A lot of times you subscribe, but you fall off unbeknownst to yourselves. So if you're already a subscriber and or at least you believe yourself to be, you may want to go ahead and check. I appreciate that too. Make sure you still are. Again, if not, hit both the subscribe button and the bell button. Hopefully you'll get your notifications. But yeah, comments fall off, or I never get to see them. Subscribers fall off. I end up not in the feed, and now sometimes also my the views and the likes they like fluctuate. They're like up and down. I'm like, what the hell's happening here? And now the newest, latest, and most weird thing, people are liking in the video or liking the fact that I published the video on social media, but not actually clicking on the link and looking at the video. I think it's YouTube, not Facebook. All right, so let's get into it. Our overall energy for the cards this week is the 7. This is very interesting. I promise you I shuffled these cards so many times. 7 of Swords in reverse. The 7 of Swords upright was the card that specifically was given to the water signs in the general reading. And the overall energy was strength upright there. Strength in reverse. Strength in reverse. The Page of Pentacles was behind it, but it too was in reverse. And this wasn't there, so that's new. All right, so these actually sort of go back to back. This is strength represents the sign of Leo most directly in the tarot, and the Page of Pentacles could definitely be a Virgo. So this could be talking about, and this is Major Arcana card 8, could be talking about the 8th month, which we enter by the end of this reading. There could be something going on, maybe involving a Leo and or a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and or something connected to a job, maybe meeting somebody at the job or something like that. And or again, entering a commitment with them. Here's a celebration with the 3 of Cups upright. Again, maybe getting married, having a baby. I don't know, something celebratory. Somebody's birthday that is a Leo, or yeah. Because Leo just started. It won't be ending next week. celebrating something. Celebrating something connected to... I'm feeling like it's not, this is a love reading, but I'm feeling like it's not directly connected to love and or relationship. Maybe it, indirectly it affects your relationship again, because it could have something to do with a job or something like that. All right, so with the cards for the past couple of weeks, I've just been pulling the cards and then going back to talk about them, rather than doing one, for each element, then doing the next one and the next one. I've just been lining them up here using the stands. So for the fire signs, your card is the 8 of Swords in reverse. Here's another 8, by the way. When we just looked at Major Arcana card 8, Strength, and here is another 8. So the 8th month, I think, could be significant, which begins again by the end of this reading. This week's reading goes through August 1st. Earth signs, your card, so the Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, your card is the Chariot upright. I think last week's love reading, I was seeing something about earth signs and water signs together. That could be coming back and repeating itself, or continuing that saga. I think particularly Virgo, which we just saw the Page of Pentacles, and Taurus were the strongest ones I felt last week, if I remember correctly. Doesn't really matter. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Our card it is our own element. It is our own energy, the Swords. 6 of Swords in reverse. And water signs, your card is also, most of these are our energy, actually, the Swords. The 4 of Swords in reverse. For Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. All right. So going back to our overall energy, 7 of Swords, whether reverse or upright, can be about like distrust, especially in relationships, love and relationship, distrust, maybe like you, so trust issues between you and your partner, or one of you doesn't necessarily trust themselves, maybe doesn't feel like they have the strength to be in a partnership, that they can't support you or you're not supporting them. It's not reciprocal. When I say support, I don't necessarily mean financially, but that could be it. Like one may feel inferior to the other because of, less money or material wealth or something like that. There could be some sort of feelings of competition between the two of you, which there should not be in a romantic relationship. As a matter of fact, let me put our overall energy here like this. Should not be in a romantic relationship, but it does exist. It does happen sometime. So then to be to more in terms of the traditional tarot, what this card can mean is that we could be feeling dissatisfaction, unhappiness in our relationships. And if you're in a committed one, then you may want to give some real thought to what that means, like dissatisfied to the extent that you want to leave, or you've been wanting to leave, or what's happening. And then if there is a desire or interest at all to remain, then definitely you need to talk to your partner, and if the feelings are reciprocal, again, both people want to salvage or save the relationship, then you can do that. You can work on doing that. Also, it's important to think about like what if there's a conflict, like what role do I play in it? What responsibility is mine? Because I always say there's enough responsibility to go around, so we got to think about like, is any of it mine? And the same thing can go for somebody who's single. If you're dealing with like trust issues, or how come I never meet anybody, or how come I never keep a man, keep a woman, whatever, then it may be time to start looking at like, what have I been doing to potentially maybe steal my own joy? Because I always say that the 7 of Swords for me represents the energy of joy stealing. What have I been doing to steal my own joy? Or have I been lacking confidence? Have I been afraid to take risks? Have I just been walking around distrustful of people, like with my guard up and not letting anybody in, not being vulnerable? If those the answer is yes, then those may be things you want to work on or change about yourself in order to allow yourself to meet somebody, or for a relationship to deepen or something. Moving on specifically to the fire signs, again, your card is the 9 of Swords in reverse, but it's very relative to the 7 of Swords. And what we can all benefit from is the fact that the strength card is a very positive one, not just in love, but in any and every area of a relationship that it touches. And we all can draw on that strength. And for you guys in particular, the swords cards tend to be energy of swords or air is logic and mental. So it tends to be like not real, like it's in your head and you have a lot of control. Like, so you very likely are stealing your own joy, and you could make a free will choice instead to rely on your strengths and turn things around for yourself. Maybe literally turn things around for yourself. This is the Eight of Swords actually in reverse, not the Nine of Swords. Turn things around for yourself, except for the fact that the Eight of Swords upright is actually not as positive as the Eight of Swords in reverse. So the same way I said the Seven of Swords, well, for one thing that's positive, it's a natural progression from the Seven of Swords in reverse to the Eight of Swords in reverse. But similar to what I was saying about the Seven, there could be some sort of like disagreements, maybe even like petty stuff, petty, debates and arguments that you really shouldn't. We really should try to avoid giving our energy to, particularly for existing relationships and commitments. But if they do pop up, similar to what I was saying there, if you want to salvage the relationship, you wanted to get back on track and stuff, try to get to the root of the problem. Like, what is the issue, and to talk about it, both of you together. If you're single, this card can be about feeling lonely, which is not really something that I like, for lack of a better word, for people. I think it's important to understand that there's a difference between being alone and being lonely, and that being lonely, to me, lonely is a negative emotion. We can be alone and still be happy, even if we are interested in finding love and looking for love. But the difference in perspective can make the difference in terms of what you attract toward yourself, right? Because we need positive vibes and energy to be given off from us in order to attract, something good back toward us. So it can mean, again, that we need to work on ourselves, and maybe that work on ourselves is just a matter of the difference between lonely and alone. Like, once we can get out of that negative energy, negative emotion of feeling lonely, and turn it around to, okay, I'm alone, but I love myself, so that's all right. But I'm ready to share this love with somebody else too. So let me work on attracting that. Changes it's a whole new ball game then. It's important that if we're like feeling like that we need somebody to complete us, so we're feeling half here, or we're feeling empty, maybe even worse, then not only can that repel a partner or drive somebody away if you do have somebody in your life, but people don't complete us. Like, we need to be happy with ourselves. Like, we complete us. Our self-love completes us and makes us feel whole and stuff. So again, it's about working on you, but you're in control of making a free will choice to draw on your strengths and turn things around for yourself. Moving on to the earth signs. So again, for one thing, there could be a situation involving a water sign, maybe most specifically a Cancer for some of you. I think last week it was like Virgo and Pisces, or Taurus and Pisces, or something like that, or both of those. In any case, again, water sign may be involved again, maybe specifically a Cancer. And it could be some sort of twin flame dynamic, and maybe there is just sort of like one sort of difference that's made you guys, like one is here, one is black, one is white, that's made you guys sort of have like a stop and go energy. You start to take off, and then it's like, and then you stop, or we can be sort of tempted to go like too fast and too furious, too hard, too far, in a relationship, and get ahead of ourselves and ahead of the other person. So we want to be careful of that. Or it can be, maybe it can be something the other way around, like somebody's pressuring you that way. Either way, this requires a conversation too, right? And communication about what you want in a relationship, what you're looking for in a relationship, what kind of, whether you want a relationship at all or not. Maybe you just want a situationship, a thing. I'm just here to have a good time. Like, it's about being honest about whatever's going on, and then like setting boundaries and making those clear, making your boundaries and your preferences and clear, what your desires clear, and being honest with yourself and the other person. If you're not in a relationship but you are dealing with someone that wants to be in a relationship, then the best way to sort of get that back on track and or cut that off, is again to be honest with them and let them know that you're not interested in a relationship. And it's kind of like calling upon you to be like the King of Swords, sort of. Say what you mean what you say, make sure it's clear. But you can do that in a kind way. You don't have to be nasty to people. You don't have to try to break somebody's spirit or destroy them. Again, the King of Swords, when he talks, he's very diplomatic and fair, and tries not to go below the belt. There is something about a car also for somebody. Then maybe where you get into the argument in the car, something may pop off in the car. Of course, that's the case. Be careful not to allow that to get you something petty and silly and stupid to get you distracted from the road and into an accident, or to the point that like the cops pull you over and you get a ticket or something like that. Just be careful. Air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Our card, speaking of that, of travel, because the Chariot can be about travel and stuff and movement, and so can the Six of Swords. So our card is the Six of Swords in reverse. And in the general reading, our card was the Six of Cups in reverse. Both, especially in consideration of some of the other energies that are here, can be about, I talked about sweeping something in the rug and under the rug in the general reading, and not getting to it, having avoided situation because you didn't want to ruffle any feathers. You don't want to disturb the peace. So let's pretend that there's no problems in our house, right? In our relationship, in our situation. Let's just hide all the problems so that, everything can be good. And that they're going to come up and they need to be dealt with. So similarly, this can mean that the Six of Swords in reverse can be the same thing. Not necessarily that we've been sweeping the stuff under the rug, but that's something that we need to face, confront, some sort of issue in our relationship is coming up. And in order to move forward, whatever that means, in order to move forward, we have to face this thing. And it doesn't have to involve fights or arguments, but it can. More importantly, it should involve communication. And if you communicate, again, calmly, and don't try to, go too below the belt, be diplomatic and fair, like the King of Swords, and this is our energy, so we should be able to do that, then things should go well. It's definitely not a time to hold things in, though, or like to hold back. So don't just start like spouting off at the mouth without thought, because again, that may allow you to go to like hit too below the belt. So try to think about what you're saying and the damage that you can cause with your words, right? Words have meaning, words have effect. So like use your words properly. Try to be thoughtful about how you speak, even though you need to speak your piece and you need to get something off your chest. You need to get it out. Again, think King of Swords. Not the time to hold things in, but just be careful of using that sword and cutting through somebody, in a hurtful way unnecessarily. Say what you mean what you say, but, be an adult about it. How about that? Does that work? And then moving on to the water signs, your card is the Four of Swords in reverse. It can mean that somebody needs a rest. Somebody needs a nap. Maybe like very literal. Something is tired when the Four of Swords in reverse shows up. It might be the relationship that you're feeling is a little bit tired and that you need some more together time. And, that's something that you can work on also. We got to keep this in mind. Like, we could be robbing ourselves of that together time. And so it's up to us to make again, free will decision to draw on our strengths and make something come together. And this card is about reciprocity in love too, and balance. Like, look, I got the string, I got you and you got me. We can support each other. Again, not necessarily financially, but we hold each other up and we hold each other down, however you want to look at it, both, right? So you could need to be aware, remain mindful of the fact that your partner may be literally tired. Maybe because of their health, maybe because of their job, maybe because of both, maybe because of something, family situation that they're dealing with separate and apart from you, or whatever. It has nothing to do with you. Don't presume that something is about you, right? Be open to the fact that it may have nothing to do with you, and that can be difficult for a Leo sometimes, right? They often manage to make any and everybody's situation at any given time about them. So it's funny that I'm saying use the strengths, but understand that it may not be about you. It may have nothing to do with you, the fact that you're not spending the kind of time you want together or whatever. It could be other things that are coming up in life. Don't take it personally. It's very important that you don't take it personally. If you're looking for love and haven't found any, again, this could be the time, and it's been a while. Like, again, how come I can't meet anybody? Or how come when I do, I can't keep a man, I can't keep a woman, whatever it is. It could be the time that you need to change. You're like your way of going about it is tired. It's tired, right? So you need to change your tactics, so to speak. So maybe because of COVID, for example, you've been online dating or looking online. And it just hasn't worked for you, and it's not working for you. So now, if you're in one of the areas that has begun to reopen, or you have already successfully reopened wherever you live, then maybe now you want to try in-person, meetups or through groups, or have a friend introduce you. Maybe you're willing to go on a blind date, because somebody knows a person or whatever. Or again, like spending time in larger, thinking of the Three of Cups, that can mean like being social. So spending time, in larger groups of people, social distancing, of course, especially if you're in the area where you need to, that's still an issue. You need to be doing that. But in as safe a way as possible, because you're at these places, out in the open and in society and socializing, then you meet people there. And that may give you the opportunity to meet somebody even like in an unlikely place, like the grocery store or, Target or something like that. That could come up too. If you're already in a committed relationship, again, there could be an issue. It might not be about you. How can you find out whether it is or not? Talk about it. Same thing I told the other people. So that's the lying theme for everybody, communication this week. And that's probably why we got all these swords. And if we communicate effectively and properly, there can be movement. We got 2 cards of movement here sitting right in the middle too, with the Chariot and the 6 of Swords. So I like it. We're going to go on to another spread. And here I have the Angel and the Animal Tarots. It's 2 decks of tarot cards in case messages want to repeat. And they can repeat in terms of the cards that we already saw from the Rider-Waite tarot deck as well. That's why I like to use 3 tarot decks. So we're beginning with Major Arcana card 15, Ego, or the Devil, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things and negative or fear-based thoughts. So this sort of goes along with the cards that we just saw, right? Potentially feeling stuck but being in a position to get yourself unstuck. Alternatively, or maybe or it can also be about Capricorns or the energy of Capricorn. We actually have a few planets that are currently retrograde in Capricorn. Those are Saturn, which is Capricorn's own ruler, Jupiter, the ruler of the sign of Sagittarius, and Pluto, the ruler of the sign of Scorpio. I think something else may be there, like another planetary body. So the next card is the Queen of Swords, Queen of Winter, but she is in reverse. So I think the Devil is pretty straightforward. Again, it's about feeling stuck or being focused on things like the material and money. So like I said, somebody could be working too hard, and maybe that's why they're tired and it's affecting your relationship, but they're trying to make money. Or somebody could, feel inferior to their partner. I'm not worthy. They have more money, or they're smarter. They went to college. I didn't, or, they're more popular. They're held in more regard or esteem in their community, or whatever the case is. And so you're focused on things like that are not important in a genuine relationship, like where there's actual mutual adoration and respect and love, and reciprocity. People tend to not actually care about those things. And it's another Six of Air or Swords. I told you, like, sometimes the cards like to repeat. So just a moment ago, as our card, the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, got the Six of Swords in reverse. This time it's for everybody. Things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. You may even be taking a trip. And right behind it is the Two of Water, Two of Cups. So if things are looking up in the area of love, then there's improvements. There's relationships coming back together where there had been debate and conflict, or where there is debate and conflict, maybe at the beginning of the week. By the end of the week, maybe we're getting ourselves together. A relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, and the positive resolution of a conflict. Very nice. Also upright, it is the Knight of Water or Cups. He is emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative, falling in love or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, and an invitation to a social event. So we did talk about social events and being social. The Three of Cups could be a wedding, could be an engagement, all those things, very positive, or getting invited out for a date, or a commitment deepening or beginning or starting. All of those things are possible. We also saw 29 twice, right, which is representative of spiritual partnership. The Knight of Water or Cups is a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and often is somebody returning to our lives. It could definitely be an ex that somebody with whom you've already had a relationship, or maybe somebody that you were close to in some capacity or way, like friends even, and you didn't have a relationship, but they're returning to your life, and there's a possibility for that now. And the next card is upside down. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll use these cards newly shuffled to for the spread from the masculine perspective. So again, with a very positive overall energy of the Six of Swords, followed by the Two of Cups. The card representing the feminine this week is the Eight of Air, Eight of Swords. So this was also the card in reverse, albeit in reverse, that represented fire signs this week. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, most specifically, just a moment ago. And now for all of the feminine, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, and being afraid to take action. So also, just like what the Devil represented, it's not the same card, but it's the same kind of energy that's popping up again. The masculine as it relates to the feminine this week, the Three of Earth, the power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work, be a team player. We could be meeting somebody at work, or again, somebody could be working too hard and we're feeling like we're stuck in a relationship that's going nowhere because somebody's putting all their time into work and not into us, but it might just be something that we need to communicate about. Also, we could be getting involved with somebody at work or have an interest or dealing with some sort of party of three in our lives. Not necessarily a love triangle, but that's absolutely one of the possibilities. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. Masculine as it relates to himself this week, the King of Air, King of Swords. I mentioned him too. So be the King of Swords. Yes, brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice and balance mental and emotional considerations. Masculine, if you have something to say, some of us may be waiting on bated breath. Maybe that's why we're feeling stuck. Like, how does he feel? And blah, blah, blah. What's going on? Is there a party of three? All kinds of stuff. Say what you mean what you say. Don't try to be hurtful. As a matter of fact, try not to be. Like, again, choose your words. Use your words. Don't cut below the belt, or don't go unnecessarily below the belt. Masculine as it relates to the union or connection as a whole this week. Two of Fire, Two of Wands. This card too came up not just now, but in the general reading, this card in reverse was representing the fire signs. And in either direction, but especially in reverse, the way it came up, it can be about getting swept off your feet. Upright. The Two of Wands in general is the soulmate or divine union or twin flame card of the tarot, and can definitely be about partnership. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. So that's where the masculine's head is at, or at least his higher self is at this week as it relates to the connection or union, entering union of some type as a whole. And of course, this is for singles, couples, people in separation, people that never met their, soulmate, but definitely feel they have one, or twin flame, or whatever it is, but feel they have one for sure. Overall, very nice. Major Arcana card 19, the Sun. Happy outcome. So despite like this funky energy, a little happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success. If what? You have confidence in yourself. So again, the same thing like I was saying with the strength. It's in our free will power to draw upon that strength and to unstuck ourselves if we feel stuck. If you do that, if you have confidence in yourself, you can, there's going to be a happy outcome. What energy the masculine would have the feminine give to the union or connection this week if it were up to him? Right? He can tell our higher self what to do. Ooh, love, love, love is what he wants. The Queen of Water or Cups. She is, first of all, a Cancer, Scorpio or Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, but she's also tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. So this is very much on par with the other cards that we saw, the Two of Cups, the Knight of Cups. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. So that's also warning us about like reality, which the Two of Fire or Wands can also be about, like, especially in reverse. It can tell like what you're seeing or think you're seeing isn't necessarily the situation. So we could be seeing something or feeling something that we feel that's causing us to be in this place of fear here with this Eight of Swords, and it's like so not necessary. Like this is like the real energy. So again, use your intuition. Don't just let fear take over and direct you. What energy the masculine is willing himself to give to the union or connection this week? It is the Seven of Earth. Seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, and unnecessary worry. So if there's no movement this week, and this could be tied maybe specifically to the earth signs, or maybe more so to the earth signs, because you just had the Chariot, and I talked about stop and go, right? If there's no movement this week, it's like, oh, it's okay. Like he's still going to trust. He's not going to just like fall out of the equation. He's still going to trust that he's done what he needed to do, or he's doing it this week, that he should manifest what it is he's attempting to. In this case, right? Connection. So there may just be a need to be patient this week and allow some energy like this, funky energy of fear and stuff, to dissipate, or to allow time for the conversations that we need to have to be had. And then we get to reap what we sow, right? Then we move up to the 8 and we reap what we sow. This is another one of those 7s. And we have the 8 here. So the 7 could mean like, again, so this week is for this energy, and then at the end of the week, the reading ends or includes the first day of August only. So like next week, we'll be in that new space, and he won't have to wait or be patient anymore. He will have, conquered whatever that situation is. What the universe or God would have each or both archetypes to, give, and what kind of energy each. And the universe wants to help us, but again, we have free will choice. So we have to say yes, right? We have to affirm this. But what does the universe want to give us or help us with? The Four of Wands. So it's like twin twos of wands, right? This is the 1111. This is happiness. This is commitment. This is contentment, peace, and abundance. Yes, a happy home life and the successful completion of a project. Very good. Again, that could mean engagement, marriage, even childbirth, cohabitation, meeting somebody, that's going to be an actual real match for you. With a happy outcome. Can also be about, it's a card of commitments and contracts. Sort of like not wanting for anything. And the outcome. Very nice. The outcome is maybe Major Arcana card 0, the Dreamer, which in this deck in particular, the one from which it came, tends to represent the planet Mercury for me, ruler of the signs of Gemini and Virgo. So one of them may be particularly significant, or maybe that's from where the King of Air or Swords energy is coming. Our ruler, Mercury. A leap of faith. Follow your dreams, because that leads to unexpected opportunities. This is actually Major Arcana card 0. The Fool, all about a brand new path you never walked before. So again, this could be like a completion of a phase, a karmic lesson or cycle in your life. And now brand new situation is starting, or it's your first time being married, or at least to this person, right? It's the first time being a parent, or at least of this baby. First time, moving in with somebody, or at least with this person. That can be what these fresh starts are, because this is like a path that is brand new, or you're trying something different. Like maybe again, you had been trying to date and you were trying online and that didn't work, or you've been trying in person and that didn't work. So now you're going to try online. Brand new path, having completed some sort of cycle that is now done. I want to get an advice card from each deck if I can for each archetype, and there we go. So from the Animal Tarot to the masculine, it is now the King of Summer or Cups, right? With the Queen is right here. Warm-hearted, devoted, loving, and faithful, a trustworthy person or relationship enters your life. You may receive wise and compassionate advice from someone, and if so, they speak directly from the heart. So that means it's like, you can trust that somebody's being genuine with you, and it's real. The King of Cups is he's one of the best cards, and the Queen too. I mean, the King of Cups is like one of the most loving cards in the deck. So it's like an energy that you can trust, that you can, very romantic and nurturing and gentle and loving and generous. And for the feminine, Major Arcana card 14, Balance, which represents the sign of Sagittarius, the planet Jupiter. So does the sun, by the way. I don't think I mentioned it. And I pointed out with that Chariot that came up for, what was it, the earth signs, that you guys could be like a match, but like maybe one is black and one is white, and that could be what your differences have been about. This is a similar card. It can be about like differences, like stark differences like that, or maybe different religions or age difference, or again, like we talked about money, perhaps like one feels more well-to-do than the other, or whatever. But this is like about coming together despite all those things, despite the differences. By merging varying points of view, you can now generate an extraordinary new idea, compromise with others, and collaborate to discover a better solution. Balance or temperance for me is also about like restoration, like being made whole, where something had been lost or taken from you. It's restored. This is conflict resolution, and it does 14 equals 5, right? The 5s tend to be about conflicts and stuff, right? The 5 of Swords, the 5 of Wands. This is about like working those things out. So, you know, fixing a relationship or something. Where did I get this from? Here. And then from the Angel Tarot to the masculine major arcana card 13, release or death, which signifies the end of a phase, right? To allow for the beginning of a new one. Also, again, a Scorpio may be particularly significant. The Queen of Cups in the tarot in traditional practice most directly relates to the sign of Scorpio, because the queen of any element, any given element, is connected to the fixed sign of that element, and the fixed sign of the element of water is Scorpio. It's the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation. It's time to move on. Also, again, Scorpio's ruler, Pluto, is retrograde, one of the planets that's retrograde in Capricorn. And this is the deck with which we had begun with the devil, right? That represents the sign of Capricorn. Lastly, for the feminine, it is another 6, the 6 of Earth, gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, and receiving a loan or paying off debts. Well, the 6 of Earth or Pentacles is actually one of my favorite cards in the tarot. And in this deck in particular, I really like the illustration because it's a card that represents the planet Venus for me. And this one sort of illustrates all the signs that she rules, at least the way that I look at it. I see the scales of balance or justice there. And of course, that's representative of Libra, which is ruled by Venus and is all about equity and balance in our relationships, reciprocity, exchange, right? Unconditional love, all those things. All the earth. I mean, this is a card of Pentacles. All the earth is representative of Taurus, which she also rules. And then I see a bunch of like scattered kind of air in the background. Can you guys see that? And to me, that's representative of Gemini. Venus is also the esoteric ruler of the sign of Gemini. And so I see it all coming together. And I guess ultimately, this is a card of exchange for me, energy exchange. And that energy that's being exchanged is one of unconditional love. So this is really, you know, I give because I give. Like I don't have an agenda, and I'm able to not only give, but I receive too. Like I receive from you because I receive, not because of what it, you know, what the benefit may be to either one of us, you know, in terms of some sort of comeuppance, right? So definitely about being able to give and receive. We all need to be able to do both, and a lot of us have trouble, particularly with the receiving part, right? We give, and then we get to a point sometimes when we even complain about how much we give, but it's like we're the ones that are closed off to receiving. So that could be something that we need to work on also. But definitely seems like possibly this week for some of the feminine, real reciprocal, mutual respect and adoration, and even love relationships, genuine, that you can trust. Maybe with a water sign, most specifically a Scorpio, maybe with an air sign, most specifically a Gemini, maybe with a Sagittarius. We got 2 cards of those energies, and combinations of those quite possible as well. Hope you guys have enjoyed the reading. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, right? Like the video, share the video, comment on the video. Subscribe to the channel by hitting both the subscribe button and the bell button. And if you like any of my services, the description for any and all of them, as well as merchandise and all that stuff, will be in the box below. Thanks. Namaste.